Does anybody care about basketball?
I prefer it to football.
The Duke women won the ACC
All right, Randall, can you
tournament.
hear me?
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Was that on last night?
No, it was on over the weekend. Sunday.
The ending was pretty good.
What's that?
I thought the ending was pretty good,
Oh, you saw the game?
just part of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was a close game against Louisville.
There we
Yeah.
go. Randall, can you hear me? I'm hot.
It's easy to go.
No.
Okay, Randall, I'm giving up on this.
Yeah.
I'm giving up on Zoom. Right, you can watch it. Right, I'm gonna get rid of Zoom completely.
Uh-oh. Bye, Randall.
Bye, Randall.
Bye, Randall.
See you tomorrow. Get through the waiting lines. All right. Oh, Lord. Is your mic on, please? Yes? Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome you to our Wednesday morning class. And here at HeartLight Spiritual Center, for you that might be joining us online, we want to welcome you today. This is a final to our class of the last 6 weeks on energy is currency, or aligning with your energetic blueprint. You could say the blueprint is the inner investor. You know, if you have money that you want to invest, you're going to find the best person, because not all investors are the same. I've had some experience with investors that really messed me up. I lost money. And then I've had investors that were really good. We clicked, and I'm actually made money. So if you're a person who invests, you know what I'm talking about, that it's important who your investor is. So when it comes to energy and spirituality, of course, we're going to always look within. That's always the source of everything, is within. This is why sometimes I wonder if such things as astrology, if we don't somehow control astrology more than it controls us, because I believe that cause is inwardly and effect is outwardly. So I'm very leery of things that says that it causes me out there. So that's just a thing with me. I'm open to it, as you know. I mean, I listen to it and weigh it and see what happens and what doesn't happen. But I'm sure I have some influence on it rather than it just having influence on me. And that's the thing that in the ego world of 3D that we've done, is we've turned cause and effect around completely. And the ego wants us to believe that everything we feel in here was caused by out there. What they did, what you said, you made me angry. Government is making me feel this way. Everything, and when the teacher said the kingdom is within you, he's saying cause. And oftentimes even God, as creator, source, is referred to as first cause. And that first cause caused us. So we're second cause. Now what I'm saying there is you hold the power to co-create your destiny in your life. You're not just the victims of what is going on outside yourself. So that to me is the difference in spirituality. Another thing with religion is they've turned that around pretty much. So today is open really for you. We want to hear some of your experience from the class. What caught your attention? And what caught your attention so much that it showed up in your consciousness during the week after the class? Did something happen and you went, oh, I remember in the class we talked about this, so I'm going to make a choice based on that moment that I connected to something about it. Maybe it's setting boundaries. Maybe you found yourself in a situation where you're going, I really need to work on setting some boundaries in this in my life. And maybe that happened. So if things happened, then the class has been successful. This class was not meant to be as other classes I do, which is a lot of gnosis and knowledge and just information. This one was supposed to be more practical and something in life that we can use every day. So we want you to be able to share with us your experience of setting through these classes with you. So I'm just going to kind of open it here. I'm trying to think of something for me. I know I had some moments that I went back and referenced to the class and what we learned in the class. I should have written them down. I wish I'd have made a little list of the things that happened, but I didn't. So I'm trying to think. So one thing that I got out of the class in general was that we're growing up, we're maturing, and more responsibility is on us now. You know, we put responsibility on some God out there, and then we put responsibility on prophets, teachers, ministers, and whatever. And now we're realizing that actually we ourselves are a part of co-creating this experience that we call the human experience in the world. So that's what I learned as I felt responsibility. That'd be my word. I felt more responsible of my time, how I spend my time, the choices that I make. All of those things are spending energy to do that. Even to make a choice is energy. And what really is interesting is to make the choice and follow through with it. That seems to be two things completely different. We all can come up with a great idea. We can create some vision of something that we want to do, but then we kind of lose the energy to act on it and to actually make it happen. And so that's where this idea of energy and more abundantly comes in. That means you've got that extra energy account that you can go to your savings account and draw it out. And you don't always have to go draw it out because you need it. Sometimes it's because you have a desire for something and you want something, but you have the energy to go do it. You know, same way with shopping. Some of you if you have extra money, you go shopping for things you just like for you. It doesn't have to be some reason. It's just that's pretty, it makes me feel good. And so I choose to spend my money, my energy on that, right? So, and you know the difference when you have to do things because you have to do it. Oh my God, I got to go to this wedding and I got to have this particular dress or this shirt. And you're going, oh, I don't really want to spend the money. I didn't really want to go to the wedding. It's probably never going to use it again. That is bad spending. That's a lot of wasted energy on doing that. So what we're saying is things that energize you, things that vitalize you, things that align you with the desires of your heart, where it says it is God's pleasure to give us the desires of our heart, not the wants. Want and desire is two different things. Thou shalt not want. The Lord is my shepherd and I shall not want. But desire is a different thing.
So, may I ask this real quick? When you're saying thou shalt not want, I've always heard that as when you have a want of, I guess, a want of the connection, That is, as opposed to.
Now use that and use the word desire instead of want. See how it feels.
Well, yes, yeah.
It's a different feeling.
It's a different feeling.
Because want means I'm in need.
Yeah.
Well, and that's exactly there. That's it. Because there's been the need for that connection, the need for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, that It's still what I'm thinking. It
And
doesn't
one of
change it.
the chapters in A Course in Miracles is one of your first exercises is I need nothing. Because everything is already. But I desire to manifest. I don't need it. Maybe I don't have to have it, but I desire it to. There's something about the frequency of desire that connects you to universal law of attraction.
Well, I was gonna say want means you don't have it, right?
Right, it's
But
separation.
desire,
It's lack.
it's in, yes,
It's a state
it's
of
in
lack.
our field, it's part of us.
Yeah. So anyway, I just like the idea of the heart desires, the brain sometimes wants.
Yeah.
It's different than the masculine and the feminine again. She just has a desire, which to me has a more softer feeling that by golly, I want it. And I'm going to get it no matter what. And whoever I have to step over or whatever I got to do, I'm going to get it because I want it. That just doesn't feel
And usually it doesn't
the same.
work.
Oftentimes it does not work. We don't get always what we want.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's all about having that energy to produce these things. So let's open it up to you. Who would like to just step out and share a little something that you connected to? Bonnie?
Yeah, I'm trying to stay away from politics. This gets me too worked up, so
Good idea.
so I'm not wasting my energy on that.
Okay, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing a lot better. I'm watching different movies on Netflix or something like that instead of watching politics.
But see, it takes energy for you not to do it. You can't just
Right.
do it on your own.
Right.
Mental works. You got to have a backing. And that's what we're talking about here. Energy is a backup. It's the thing that backs up our choices, it backs up our action, it backs up, it supports us in our of letting things happen and become manifest.
I wasn't going to say anything because I missed the last 3 classes, but something happened to me early on. It was like after the second class. I went home, I got my phone book in my phone, and I deleted all the people that I knew I was never going to talk to again, but I had just left in there. I also dismissed a friend. I did it with a lot of explanation and I think kindness. But it was someone who was pulling my energy.
Yeah,
And it was just someone that needed to go.
that's good.
And you found the energy to do it. There, currency. It all comes back to this currency.
Just
Serena?
want to talk about energy leaks and when you feel drained after interactions. So I just started dating a week ago, and it's different these days with dating sites, and you're constantly kind of pouring your heart into somebody, and then they just disappear for no reason and no explanation. And it's happened over and over again for the past week. Like I've lost maybe 6 or 7 people, and it just feels like this heartbreaking feeling, like I just drained out all my energy and then lost it, and it's just like it's gone. And there's no way to get it back now. And I guess that's kind of similar to if you have a profession where you're like working with energy with other people, and you're trying to help people, but they don't want your help, or maybe they're taking your energy away from you in some way because you're interacting with them constantly.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, like, how do you actually recharge and, regain yourself when you feel like you're just totally lost and depleted at that point, but it's not like anything that you actually did on purpose.
Right.
So,
Somebody else?
Well, for me, something really stuck with me from the very first week, I think it was the question of where am I expending my energy? And when I went home, I couldn't put a finger on it. I was just like, where am I expending my energy? I could, nothing came to me. Took me about a week or more of thinking about this to finally, kind of be able to, list some things where my energy was going. So that I could start expending it intentionally instead of just, letting everything else drain it.
Yes.
And then the other thing that really stuck with me, I mean, I believe in the law of attraction and manifesting very strongly. It's happened. I've had some success with it at times, but I have to say the majority of the time I haven't. And so I was trying to figure out why. And I think this is the why key, is energy. How much energy is going into my manifesting? What energy do I have left to put into that? So I'm trying to, figure out ways to work with my energy. And with that, I just went for my first Reiki session a couple of weeks ago, and that was interesting. I think I'm going to stick with that. And I'm also interested, now you've been talking about your tuning, so I'm also kind of interested in that now. So at some point I want to talk to you more about that.
Yeah, well, the tuning that I do is based on connecting your personal energy field with universal energy field. So
To me, that's what manifesting is.
yeah, and manifesting is having energy to manifest beyond survival level. If I'm spending my entire money foolishly on crazy stuff, and then something really comes up that I need the money for, and I've spent it, I don't have it to do, so it doesn't manifest. Because a lot of people believe when things don't manifest, something's either wrong with them, or where's God, or this is not working for me, and that's the ego's whole take on that. And you that have been to me know that I start out with this analogy of you just love HeartLight and you love what we do here, and you're just such a person of such faith that you believe that the universe will show up for you, so you just by faith write out a $10,000 check to HeartLight. Well, I'm very glad to get that $10,000 check for HeartLight that we celebrate. It's exciting. I got this check. Look at it, it's $10,000. But I go to deposit it, and unless some miracle has happened in your bank account, you will not have the backup. So it's insufficient fund. That means I can't manifest it because I have nothing to work with to manifest it with. Manifestation is energy, right? Now, all of a sudden, Ron, you get this, you win the lottery or you get money unexpectedly. And
I had a dream about a week ago.
I'm going to confirm it. So be it, so be it. But let's say that you do, and then you come and write me that check. It goes through. That's a healing, that's a manifestation, because there was money or energy to back it up. So the first thing that people have got to do, and you hit the nail on the head, is you've got to have access to God as an inexhaustible energy source. And I want to say inexhaustible. So when you're talking about when you're doing those things and energy is being spent and all blah, 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 you're not depleting the energy at all. No more than if I took a bucket and went down to the ocean and took ocean water out, the ocean would just fill itself in. You'd never know that I did it. So you can't destroy energy. You can't deplete energy per se, but you can deplete the fact of what energy can become, can manifest for you. So there's just so many things that I would suggest that you learn on your own, and and I think the number one is breathing exercises. I can't tell you how powerful breath and breathing is. Find a 4, 6, 8, or there's so many of those nowadays, but you want to make sure your inhale is shorter than your exhale. So if you inhale 4, hold 2, exhale 6, that's important. And that does so many things on so many levels. I mean, not only does it activate your nitric oxide, it also the vagus nerve. So even on a physical cellular level, it does great things. But spiritually, it's what connects you to the source, spirit with a capital S. Because really, breath means spirit. It's from a word that means breath. And I sometimes think we have misplaced what spirit is.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we tried to make it into something, a thing, and it's really not. It's as invisible as the breath you're breathing right now. And even the scripture talks about how that the breath is like a wind that listens through the trees and goes wherever it goes. I don't see where it goes. It goes by my intention of where it goes. But anyway, if you do things like that, not only does it help you with oxygen and circulation, so there's so many benefits, but on a spiritual level, it helps. I find out in this time of not remembering things like I used to, like names and things like that. Oftentimes, if I'll take time to do breathing and get oxygen in my brain, that I'll think of it just like that. Anybody experience that? It really works. It really works. I can't think of that name. What is that? And I just do the breath, and I get it up my oxygen by holding it, and then one more breath up, and then it hits and gets into the pineal gland, and it gets into the brain, and all of a sudden you're oxidized. So you'll find out that it can help you. I'm not saying every time, but try it sometimes if you're trying to remember something. Breathe.
So, I love how this course has been organized and how the next week builds on the first week and, all of that. So for me, one of the things that really made sense was talking about internal negotiations. In my monkey mind, I'm negotiating all the time like that. And talk about an energy leak, it really is. And then the next week, one of the things that we were talking about was what story is playing all the time. And this internal negotiation, if I got right down and tried to pull it apart, was all about what story was playing in the background. I was negotiating that that's not the story, or that was the story, or, that kind of thing. Just constantly. And so one of the self-deprecating thoughts go through my mind a lot. And if I unpacked that when I did, and realized that the story I was playing in the background was like a shadow of part of my shadow stuff that was lurking under there. And so that was really a very helpful combination, like I said, of how the course was built. I loved it.
Very good. Thank you for that. I know what but I've really been contemplating showing the Ford, Debbie Ford video on shadow work.
I started watching some of it this morning.
Did you?
Yes.
I think we should show it.
Yeah, I had quite an impactful morning this morning because I started watching that. I didn't have time to do all of it. But I had also listened to something about Sophia that somebody sent me. And as I was having my quiet time, I just had the most beautiful, beyond description, visualization of Sophia in shadow dancing. Just dancing.
I love that. I love that.
It was wonderful.
Okay, that's so great. We talked a lot about energy leaks. Let's just start here. How many of you at all during the week ever entered your consciousness, what I'm doing, I'm spending energy doing it. Are you aware? I mean, make you aware of it. If that happens, you've made progress. Everything begins with awareness. You can't have enlightenment without first being aware of something. So if you just all of a sudden are aware of in your life that, wait a minute, everything that I'm doing today is going to be a way in which I'm going to invest my life energy, you're on the way. I mean, you're on the road to really become and bring this into consciousness. And you want this to be as conscious as anything else you do. You want to live in that state of awareness. Yes, Valaris.
One of my home wins is exactly what you're talking about right now. of those kind of leaks. And I don't know about anybody else, but not only do I get a lot of phone calls, there are certain people who call me. I don't know if they're sitting in the corner of my ceiling watching me or something, but their calls are always what I perceive as the wrong time. You know, it's like, were you really trying to reach me? Because here's all this time I've had that I could have. And so for the first time, a little over a week ago, the phone rang, and I always answered them, saying, even if I'm only going to say, this is not a good time for me to talk. I don't like to leave it to the voicemail and all that kind of stuff. And so the phone rang, I looked at it, I was literally getting ready to leave the house, and I said, if I pick up that phone, I'm going to be late. Later than I often am. So for the first time, I didn't answer the phone, and I am like dancing with delight for myself that I didn't get sucked into whatever program I've been running on that would not let me say, this, it's not convenient for me to do this right now. And I have found that I have more time for myself.
Sure.
To become even more aware of what is going on in my life, and if this is a good thing for me to do at this moment, might be better for something else. And I'm finding myself manifesting some things that in the past I might have had a lot of negative thoughts about. And one of them is I have been wanting to do this 10-day silent retreat for years, to repeat that, and it hasn't happened. And of course there were some other reasons, but anyway, this time when I applied, there was some talk about if you teach some other form of meditation, or if you're involved in energy work, or all of that, you might want to think about not doing this. Then they were trying to do it in a very diplomatic way. But in any event, I was able to just say, well, that's really interesting. I've been wanting to do this again for a long time, and I'm just going to apply, and I'm just going to leave it with Spirit if this is what is for me to have at this time. Now, this is definitely desire of my heart. Did I get accepted on this very first one that I can do in June? And I'm just thrilled. It does take being more aware than I have been conscious of how I've used my energy. I've just allowed myself to be pulled by anybody that I perceive needed help, except myself.
Yes. Yes, and there's that. Thank you. Great. Energetic cord awareness exercise was something that always catches my mind. Someone said to me when I first started doing energy work over 25 years ago, somebody that worked for us in the office and was a teacher, and said to me, this is so simple, but it just stayed with me. Everything is energy and everything is relationship. That matter is energy having relationship with itself through frequency and vibration. Everything in this room is made out of the same thing. How do you know a table from a picture to a building? It's all because of the different relationship energy is having through different frequencies that patterns the energy into some kind of form that we see. So I think one of the most innate, inherent things in everybody is relationship. Everybody desires relationship. And I'm not just talking about, an intimate partner or husband or wife. I'm talking about relationships with people on and life itself on so many different levels. I really had thought if if you're interested or you'll indulge, that in one of these free Wednesdays that we're going to be in for a while, that I would like to visit the teachings of the relationships, the soul people, the star mates, and the twin flames. Now you say, well, I'm not interested in that. But this applies to everything. It's just not to your immediate relationship with another person. This is a relationship we have here at HeartLight. The relationship we have with certain people you're attracted to that has become a friend. Why that person? Why not somebody else? And everybody doesn't click with everybody in the same way here. Let's don't even stick our head in the sand and say that everybody feels the same way about everybody, because there's just some people find a match with, a frequency match, and they become a friend. And those friends, the scripture says, stick closer than a brother. These are different kind of friends. They're star friends, they're star mates. And I'd like to go through that with you, if that's okay, next Wednesday. And also have a book on it that I'll give you everyone. I'll try to get copies of it so everybody will have copies of it. So anyway, that's just on my mind. So that came up with energetic cord awareness and exercises. If you remember, I touched into the more intimate sexual aspect of relationships with different people, and how that we have in many ways spent our currency unwisely and getting ourselves into relationships that we deep down knew in the beginning was not the right one, but for whatever reason, the greatest reason, I don't want to be alone. A lot of people sell out for the fact they don't want to be alone. And that's the worst thing you can do, is to have that innate knowing that this is not an it thing here. It's not, it's not connecting, but we do it anyway because of and another reason we do it, because we like the way people look. It's a body thing, that people are attracted to certain physical appearances of people. Well, that's a ridiculous thing to build a relationship on, because that's going to change pretty quickly. People do not stay with the way they look when we first meet them. So that is not a long-term relationship in any way, to let it be that surface, that it's over your sexual attraction toward another physical body. That's not it. So why do we have relationships, I think, is what I want to get into. And we want relationships that does not deplete us, but energizes us. So we'll get into that next week. I just saw that written on week 2 in that way. Anybody else want to bring up something that this may have brought up for you that you can share? Yes.
So I think the thing that stood out to me the most was this section that said energetic sovereignty. And so what it says is, I stand in my own energy and I allow others to stand in theirs. So that spoke to me quite a bit, because a lot of times what happens is some other folks' energy will bleed over into your energy, and sometimes you'll lose your identity in the midst of it. So for me to recapture that.
Very good. Very good. I like that.
So I'm going to back up what you're saying, because it's happened to me a lot of times, and it's because I didn't understand the concept of boundaries, because I couldn't follow that subtle thing when you're dealing with somebody, that you have to have the discernment to realize in the steps that you're going through getting to know people, that's the time to examine are they worth any of my life force energy in what's happening. Or another question that I'm currently asking about a situation is, what is there for me to learn in this?
That's a very good question. Yes?
think that was really interesting. But my experience of it sometimes is very different, but that I learned, you know, those balance board things that folks can stand on to learn in the body. Well, I had that image in terms of relationships, and so one of the things that I've learned about energy is the ending of what Michelle said, and that is that when there's somebody else out there, you know, we can also not be happy with letting them stand in their own energy. And so my example that I go back to when I start thinking I'm losing out on this is, if my judgment is, I want you to be more responsible, but I take up all the space on that board.
Yeah.
There's no place for you to be but irresponsible. That has been so helpful to me.
Good.
And being at peace
Yeah.
about letting people be in their space.
Absolutely, and often we don't think of that. We just think about protecting our space. Yeah, but we have a responsibility with other people in our life and honoring their space. Yeah, and sometimes those two spaces don't always connect as well as with other. You know, that those two fields. And that's okay, is what I'm trying to say. You don't have to make yourself. This thing of love everybody, I don't know what that means exactly, because I think we still think of love as a human emotion rather than a spiritual attribute of that which we call God is love. I think that's totally different. But you can't make yourself just love everybody as some intellectual idea or thought. And yet we all do love each other, but it's a very deep spiritual level. But I just hate to see people trying to make things difficult. Go with the flow. What you connect with, you connect with. What you don't, you don't. And that's fine. Do you have something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, about the relationships and loving everybody. Like, it sometimes feels like I'm very isolated, and it might just be my personality that I don't really make a lot of friends, or people don't really reach out to me, and I try to reach out to other people, they won't answer me, or whatever. But then there's also other people that are just so nasty that it's like, well, should we reach out to them and help them feel better about themselves so that somebody is their friend? Or is it better just to leave them alone and let them just like detonate themselves because they're just such a bad personality or whatever it is that pushes people away from them? So what do you do with people like that, you know, like me or like other people that are really isolated and can't connect to people very well? Like is there a reason to try to reach out more?
Definitely a reason to explore that as to what's the cause, where's it coming from. It could be coming out of your subconscious, it could be coming out of your childhood, it could be coming out of your past life stories. There's different things that make us who we are that we've experienced, and sometimes we're not even aware of it. Yeah. You know, it happened in the 4th grade or the 5th grade that somebody told you were not something, and all of a sudden you did not feel worthy to be something, and you project that out into your world, and you draw those people to you. They're not just looking for you, but sometimes we're drawing certain people in to remind us of what we need to heal in ourselves.
Well, that's that shadow work.
That is definitely the shadow work.
So I'd like to find the person that's so unlikable that I can help them or something,
but you know, if you
also
can't,
bad.
but you don't always have to help everybody. If it's not a match, then there's somebody else to help them. Maybe you're not the one. Yeah. I think Tim had something back there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Let me get this all. There we go. Well, helping somebody else is only if you have the energy to do so, right? Now, if there's someone who's constantly zapping your energy, then you need to cut the cord.
Yeah, you
right?
never know.
But if you've got the energy to do so and you want to do it out of love, the challenging thing when you do something like that is for you to stay in love and up at this level of vibration and not come down to their vibration. And you're all you're doing is trying to set an example of a higher opportunity for them to rise to. And if they choose not to do so, you can't do anything about that. It's not your job to rescue them.
Yeah, I've rescued a
don't
lot
try
of
to make
people
it
in my
happen.
life. It's sad.
Yeah, you don't want to try to make it happen. It's the way it's supposed to be at that time.
Jerry and Rhonda. So whoever wants to.
Mine's just a one-liner, so I'll go really quick. What came to mind as you were talking, from my own past experiences years ago, was you give the gift you want to give. Or you want to receive, I'm sorry. You give the gift you want to receive. So sometimes we're drawn to people in hopes of giving them something, so they'll give the exact same thing back to us to meet a need, and we're not able to complete that circle because we're depleting our own energy to give
Right.
something to them.
That's good.
Yeah.
If they just take it away and don't.
I just want to add that for me, energy goes where focus flows.
It's kind of what Ron said a minute ago.
And it's just basically that simple. But what I really want to say is, I would really be interested in you if you would do something or studies around love. Because I think half of us don't even know what love is.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. No more we know what God is, because God is love. It's the great mystery. The loves we know are phileo, eros. Eros is that sexual, I'm attracted to you, I want to be with you intimately. You got filio, that's the love that you have like for a mother or a pet. I mean, there's different levels of love. You can't just put it all into one thing of what love is. But
But a lot of people try to put it in that one box.
Oh, yeah.
and it don't work most of the time. Yeah, because when you try to make love happen, exactly what you're saying, you're actually building a box. You're defining it in a very limited, bound way of what it is. And this is when you start having to live up to something. Like, you don't love me because you don't say this, or you don't do that, or you don't whatever. It becomes conditional is what I'm trying to say. Whereas what we're trying to understand is unconditional love. And I'm not sure these are things that we can intellectually, that's where faith comes in. There's a place for faith. When the intellectual can't figure it out, when the intellectual can't quite grasp it for what it is, then you call up Peter, the first disciple, faith, that Fillmore talks about. That's the first one is faith. Yes?
I have an energy issue that I'm trying to figure out, and I'm thinking about it because of everything that's been brought up today. I have a wedding coming up in Spain in about a year. I don't want to go back to Spain. I want to go to this wedding. So I think I'm depleting my energy by wanting to go and resisting going at the same time.
Good point.
So what came up to me that I was wondering would work is if I would change my attitude about holding.
Oh, yeah, that's the first thing that came up for me.
That's where you have your power.
Yeah.
Is what you can change about yourself about a thing.
That's why I need to quit saying I don't want to go to Spain.
Yeah, very good. That's a good insight.
Okay.
Tim?
Somebody, Rhonda was talking about stories in her head. So just a reminder that stress is the difference between how things are and how you want them to be. Stress is that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty clean
That
way of
is the
looking at it.
definition of stress. Yeah.
David,
Rejecting what is.
on the love question, I
Yes.
was just thinking, last weekend it came up again. You know the book on love languages?
Yes.
And I'm just wondering about it being a practical way of experiencing and demonstrating love, as opposed to from from what I think it is, I can deal with the person from the point of view of what does love mean to them? You know, when they say, well, you don't love me because you don't do X or whatever. Anyway, I don't want to go into it, but you know where
Yes.
the love languages lead you to a whole different understanding
That's right.
of relating to people.
Oh my goodness, yes. That's an important thing, is to
And
know
I think that would
love
be a good
language,
part
yeah.
of our learning more
Mhm.
about what love really is.
Right. Very good point. Well, it's interesting this came up, so, you know. Yeah. So we talked about being sure that we invest in things that give us something back, that it's not a one-way street, which I think has been mentioned today, but I think it's a very important point that whatever we do it in relationship to something. And relationships means the complete circle of giving and receiving. So it shouldn't be just one giver and one receiver, but sometimes more people are more comfortable as a giver than they are a receiver, and they shut down the receiving, which is the worst thing they can do. So if you kind of have that personality, you're a giver and a doer and whatever, you need to find the time in which you are comfortable receiving. If you're a big receiver all the time, then you need to work on make sure that you find a way in which that you're giving of yourself. So it's not this or that, black or white, man, woman, male, female. That's all out with 3D. Now we're living in shades of dimensions, shades of color and hues. And I think that's what's happening to the world. We don't know where we fit in because we thought we were going to fit into this, and if we didn't, then we were that. And people are not this and they're not that anymore. So there's a redefining of what it means to be a human being on this planet at this time. Now the ego sees that as chaotic to itself because it's messing up its boundaries that he has set for us as to who we are, what our world is, so on and so forth. But this is it may not be a comfortable thing, but it's spiritual. Things that are spiritual are not always the most comfortable thing, but they are the most important thing in our spiritual growth and our ability to have enlightenment and to see things more through our higher mind, our Christ consciousness, than to see it through the five senses in that way. So we've done the five senses world thing, and it just did not work. The world as we've known it did not work. And one thing I wanted to get on sometimes with people is to make them understand that I'm not big about the world, but don't confuse that with nature. It's two different things. Nature does hold the divine as a human being does. That's what you're seeing out there. I love the fact. I've seen these dead twigs that I thought were gone and dead and wintry and whatever, and now little buds are coming on them and they're coming alive like that. That's some intelligence working in that way. So don't confuse the materialized world with nature. See, so just wanted to bring that out. So remember that your life is based upon the law of giving and receiving, and balancing that out in your life. So there are people that, if you're not careful, if you're a giver, there's people who take advantage of that. As if you're a receiver, there's people that will take advantage of that all the time. So you don't want to get connected to them and build a cord with them of dependency, right? And that's what will happen if you don't keep your power in that way. Yes, and we're going to do our meditation. So if you get comfortable in your seat, you have to take some nice deep breaths. I want you to breathe in to the count of 4, hold 2, exhale the count of 6. You can do that approximately about 2 or 3 more times. And as you're exhaling, you're feeling your body relax. The chair is supporting your body. Your shoulders are relaxing. Your facial features are relaxing. Wherever in your body there's any stress or tightness, give it permission to relax into this moment. And now imagine in front of you a simple, luminous battery, however you would visualize a battery. This is your life force. Not rushed. It's not drained. Not scattered, just steady. And notice its light. Notice that it's not empty. It is not overdrawn or overused, but it is available with potential possibility of energy that is connected to it. Just as a battery energizes your car to work, so your inner battery will allow things to work for the highest, best, and that which is alignment for your evolution and growth. Now gently ask yourself, what is worthy of my life force now? What is worthy of my life force now? What would you enjoy investing in that would give you purpose and pleasure? Where have your thoughts gone this week of where you would like to send love and healing? Maybe it's the people who are subjected to this terrible war, the children. Wherever it takes you, know that this inner battery is full, ready to activate your desires with fresh energy to manifest. To this question, don't force an answer. Let an image just arise. It can be in the form of a person, a quality, a way of being. However, it just shows up effortlessly in your consciousness. And if something shows up, I want you to see a cable coming out of it, and you go and you plug it into the battery. And the energy begins to flow from the battery to where you want to send your life force. Notice what feels expansive. Not urgent, not pressured. Expansion. Breathe. Now imagine your energy aligning with that desire or that which showed up in your consciousness. There are no leaks. There are no negotiations. Nothing to prove. Only recognition and alignment. Notice how your body feels when your energy serves your values. Maybe even notice how your breathing changes when you are no longer surviving, but investing. And when you're ready, you can slowly begin to return back to this space, to this room. Knowing that you can always connect with the source, the energetic battery of your life. Anything that needs to be charged. So it is. So, my desire from this class is how you might see yourself, say, a few months from now after this class, and you're still aware and conscious of the things that you have learned, and knowing that you are living from soul currency. That's the main thing of this teaching. Making decisions of clarity, moving from an open heart, choosing what multiplies love in your life. And that's love as we know love. And you know that. You know when you start becoming loving to someone, oftentimes people respond back with love. I see it here all the time. People are connected and hug each other. You can feel it when it's genuine, when it's real, when it's not just a thing to do because we're supposed to do it because we're spiritual, but because we're drawn together by the law of attraction to bring our energy fields together and make something bigger than the parts of ourselves. So I want to thank all of you for your attendance and being a part of this class, and especially I want to thank Tim for all the work that he does to make this all happen. It takes more than you realize to do all of this, so thank you for doing that.
It's been wonderful.
So who here has been here for all of the 6? Okay. Okay. Okay, we have some certificates. Tim, what do you want to do about that?
First of all, thank you for remembering.
Well, are you talking about been here, been present, or been here and watched on?
Yeah, if you watch, it counts if you watched
feel like
online.
you completed the course.
Well, all right.
And like Beth,
So you can write your own name
you were
on
gone
it,
for
or
2
you
weeks,
can go up to
but if
David
you want
and
to
he'll-
watch them and check up, I'll count you as here for all of them. Yeah, I'm sure you
Feel
would.
like you completed the course and you can write your own name on it, or you can go up to David, his printing's better than mine.
Well, yeah.
And he'll put your name on it for you.
So I know this might seem a little silly, but I wanted something tangible for you to take from this.
Yeah.
And those of you online, there you can download the certificate in the just below the screen.
Great. All right. If you have anything you want to share with the class, with
Give. Enjoy the old way. Pass.
give.
Thank you.
So Sunday's a big day here with Leslie's workshop.
Thank you. Gracias. I get everybody? Oh. You want to give your own class? Oh.
He does good.
I will. All right, thank you so much again for coming. It's a beautiful day. Enjoy it. If you are interested at all to be of any help at all Saturday, please come and be a part of, we're putting the tent up. Now I know it's not all hard. I know sometimes just hold a pole can make a difference. So if you can come, we're glad to have you.
Definitely want it by the man.
Well, I signed down here, so you just put your name.
Yeah. Well, we want, people want it to be filled out by the person who led the class.
I wish we had a good, nice pen.